Welcome to Clash Corner, your daily dose of chaos.
My best friend called me crying because no one is excited about her wedding. My best friend called me crying today because she told everyone about her wedding and nobody seems excited. She can feel that I know something she doesn't, and she's kind of right. My best friend is getting married in July after getting engaged last December. She called me today, crying, because she told everyone about the engagement and her plans for the upcoming wedding and nobody seems to be excited. While she appreciates how hard I'm trying to be excited for her, she can feel I know something she doesn't, and she is kind of right. She has been together with her boyfriend 12 years now, though they have broken up a few times in the past, mostly because of him, so I don't know anyone who particularly likes him. He also didn't propose properly, just said they should be engaged now. No ring, nothing, and it is a pattern that she will beg for him to be active. He gives her crumbs, and she will try to convince everyone, even herself, that it is the best thing anyone has ever done for anyone. When talking about the upcoming wedding, every sentence is about what he wants and how he will enjoy the day, and there are two main aspects which I know her other friends and family dislike. First, no plus ones, but not in the traditional sense. For example, I am not allowed to bring my husband because he isn't close friends with the couple. So not just no boyfriends and random people, also no spouses unless they are also very close friends of the couple. Second, there will be no expenses paid for the guests. No save the dates or invites, no venue. There will be a reservation in a restaurant where everyone will pay for themselves, and if someone wants cake, they can bring one or order off the menu. To be clear, I don't have anything against someone wanting to keep a wedding small and inexpensive, even though she is not short on money, but it is her choice how to spend it. But I understand how the way she describes her wedding day sounds quite unappealing, especially since some of her guests live a few hours away and some even in another country. I tried to hint at these things in the past few weeks, and she knows how me and other friends feel about her fiancé. We just gave up talking to her about it a few years ago, after she took him back a fourth time. But after that call, it is clear she still doesn't know or doesn't want to see. I just don't know what to do and how to tell her, because I think you should be able to celebrate your wedding day how you want. But also, if the happiness and excitement of her guests is so important to her, there is no way around telling her. But it might put her in a bad spot where she has to decide if she gives in to the guests' concerns or sticks to her, or rather her fiancé's, plan. What would you do? Would you tell her the truth, or let her figure it out on her own?
Ready for more? Here comes Clash number 2.
My sister threw me a surprise party to ambush me with my ex. I've never been big on birthdays, and everyone close to me knows this. So when my sister started acting strange 2 weeks before my birthday, I had a bad feeling about what she was planning. I've never been big on birthdays. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate them. I just prefer something low-key, dinner with my closest friends, maybe watch a film, something small basically. Everyone close to me knows this, especially my sister, Maya, who loves big gestures and believes every birthday or achievement needs balloons and a theme and much more. 2 weeks before my birthday, Maya started acting strange. She kept asking me if I'd be free that Saturday and acted weirdly when I asked why. I suspected she was up to something, so I told her again that I didn't want a party. She just laughed and said that, as per usual, I was being no fun. A couple nights ago, the night before my birthday, one of our mutual friends let it slip. She mentioned what she was wearing to the party. Turns out the whole family was invited, and it was at our parents' house. Some co-workers were also invited. But here's the kicker, my ex. For a little context, me and my ex broke up about 2 months ago. It ended pretty badly. No abuse or cheating, but it wasn't a pleasant ending. I've made it pretty clear to everyone in my life that I want no contact. Maya knows this. However, she's told me multiple times that I should just get over the whole situation because he's a nice guy and that he's been a part of all our lives for years. The first thing I did was call Maya, demanding answers, and she didn't deny it. She just said that we could finally talk it all out. She admitted that she hadn't just thrown this party for my birthday, but also so everyone could see my ex again and we could fix things between us. She literally said to me that I'd thank her later. I went mad. I said to her she had no right. That I would have been ambushed into the situation, on my birthday. And this was all after I had specifically said that I didn't want a party. She just said that I was dramatic and ungrateful, that she had this whole thing planned because I wouldn't find better and it was a good gift. She said everyone had gifts and traveled. That everyone was excited. So yesterday, my birthday, I completely powered off my phone and didn't let anyone know other than my best friend. We went out for lunch and went on a walk together. Ended up having a great day. When I finally got home, I turned my phone on and it was mental. Maya was fuming. People were disappointed. People even said I embarrassed Maya. Maya is now basically saying that I ruined the whole party and made it all about me. It was literally my birthday. She says that she did it out of a good place in her heart and that I should at least apologize for not showing up and letting people know. Was I wrong for not showing up?
The chaos doesn't stop. Clash number 3.
I'm so obsessed with my wife it's becoming a problem. I'm genuinely obsessed with my wife, and it's starting to cause real issues between us. I react to seeing her the same way I did the first time we met. I feel like a blushing beginner every time we're intimate. It's becoming a genuine issue during intimacy that she's noticed, but I can't give her an explanation because I know she'll use it to her advantage for the rest of my life. Every time she looks up at me, I genuinely feel like I'm going to have a seizure. I literally get faint. Sometimes my ears ring if it's been a while. My throat closes up. I've had times where I burst into tears. Her face with her cute moles just looks so soft, and her big brown eyes make me want to run through a concrete wall. I literally can't focus during intimacy 70% of the time because every time she looks at me, I nearly collapse and lose all brain function. I know some cynical person is going to call this a fake post, but I'm being serious. It literally makes it difficult to do any very important actions while horizontal. I understand the people who died in battle at Troy for a beautiful woman, because I seriously become illogical to a concerning extent. It's a struggle to continue being intimate. I just get too overwhelmed and faint. I honestly hope this feeling never ends, but also I wish she would stop putting her spells on me. Has anyone else ever felt this way about someone?
Another clash is on the way. Here's number 4.
I tried to be mysterious on a first date and the police got involved. I tried to be mysterious on a first date by hiding around a corner. A neighbor thought I was casing the building and called the police. So this happened a month ago. My friends physically cringe when I tell this story in person, so I'm putting it on the internet instead. I met Elena through mutual friends. She's an interior designer, travels, reads books, has opinions about wine. I eat pasta 3 times a week and consider that a personality. My friend gave me advice. Be a little mysterious. Don't reveal everything at once. Women love mystery. A man with zero mysteries and whose most interesting hobby is watching documentaries about bridge construction, decided this was excellent advice. We agreed to meet outside a cafe at 7. I arrived at 6:50, normal. But then I thought, mysterious people don't stand by the entrance like a bouncer. Mysterious people appear, so I decided to wait around the corner and emerge when she texted. Elena texted at 7:01. I'm here, where are you? I started walking out from around the corner. And at that exact moment, a woman runs out of the building opposite and screams across the entire street. He's there, around the corner, I saw him. Turns out, while I was standing around the corner looking mysterious, the neighbor decided I was casing the building. Called the police. Twice. I walked out from around the corner directly into 2 police officers and Elena standing there with her mouth open. I explained the situation for approximately 15 minutes. One officer was taking notes. The other was trying not to laugh and visibly losing. The neighbor stood nearby watching me with absolute righteous fury. Elena said nothing. Then one officer asked, so you were just waiting for a date? Yes. Around the corner. Yes. To be mysterious. Long pause. Yes. The second officer laughed, out loud. In uniform. On duty. We were let go. The neighbor went home unsatisfied. Elena and I were standing on the sidewalk. She looked at me and said, well, you're definitely mysterious. We went to the cafe. I told her about bridge construction documentaries. She listened for 40 minutes and actually asked questions. Third date on Thursday. The neighbor still eyes me suspiciously every time I walk past. I nod at her. She does not nod back. I hope the officer who laughed is doing well. Would you have stayed for the date?
Chaos overload. Let's wrap up this final clash.
I miss my wife, even though we're still married. My wife and I are just straight up roommates now, despite 10 years together, 8 years married. We have a 7-year-old kid together, and since the day they were born, I lost my wife. My wife and I are just straight up roommates now, despite 10 years together, 8 years married. We have a 7-year-old kid together, and since the day they were born, I lost my wife. She's just not the person I married anymore. I spent a decade in the military and met her towards the end, married after I got out, got pregnant after being married, so no scandal or anything. We're from different countries, and to keep her comfortable I gave up everything. My family, my job, the country I fought for, to live with her in her country. Learning her culture, learning her language, becoming part of her family. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, and brother-in-law love me to death. She works part-time and does photography as a side business. I do the overwhelming majority of household work, despite what she'd want you to believe. Cook, clean, laundry, lunches, cleaning up her messes because the kid gave her scattered focus and she can't complete a singular task anymore, anything the kid needs. I, without question or hesitation, will take care of our kid, alone, when she gets a shoot for a destination wedding for a week. I give her unquestionable trust, letting her be alone in other countries with people I don't know, never once challenging her faithfulness. We've been together through her medical roller coaster, stage 4 endometriosis. I helped every bit I could through multiple of her surgeries, especially when she had a resection and needed an ileostomy bag. I had prior experience with assisted living and am very familiar with cleaning and changing ileostomy and colostomy bags. She's let her body go a bit between the health issues and kid, which is completely reasonable, and I tell her every single day how much I love her body, and how much she turns me on. I've never once said a bad thing about how she looks because honestly she's gotten more attractive to me after putting on a little weight. I never even knew I was so attracted to mom bodies until I saw hers. Not that she's particularly insecure about her body, I just like reassuring her. Despite everything I try to do for her, intimacy has completely fallen off a cliff. We went from being intimate in the car, on the beach at the lake, in the elevator, out in the woods, every opportunity to put my hands on her, to just nothing. Empty promises during the day, that I know will never happen but still let myself get worked up about, just end in rejection the following night. The occasional completely passionless pity intimacy, maybe once every few months, not even birthdays or romantic holidays. It honestly feels like she just does it to keep me hanging around at this point. She made a comment at one point that she doesn't do oral anymore because I don't do oral. I stopped because she said she was uncomfortable with it. Every chance I got for about a year following that comment I made a point to focus on her and do oral for her before ever worrying about my own pleasure. Nothing changed, and she eventually told me again that she was uncomfortable with it, so I stopped. I've tried multiple times every 6 months or so, since the kid turned 5, to calmly and neutrally, and with no blame, explain to her that physical connection and intimacy are very important to me, and that I feel like I need that physical contact to maintain my emotional connection with her. Even so far as to write out what I want to say to her so that I can clearly summarize my feelings and that she can read it at her own pace and we can talk through any translation errors. She speaks excellent English. People even comment on how they thought she was a native English speaker at first. Despite my efforts to be as supportive and neutral as possible, she inevitably agrees, says she wants the same thing, but nothing ever changes. I'm honestly just hurting now. From the moment I wake up to the moment I sleep I'm just constantly thinking about her, and how much I miss my wife. I don't need advice, I've read all the same stuff and double standards you could imagine from other posts about this. I just need to say it out loud, if you could call this out loud. It kills me knowing I've somehow managed to get myself into something I can't undo, and with no end in sight. I'm incredibly patient and analytical, but I'm struggling more and more every day to not say something more, to not put pressure on her, to not feel like I'm begging. Struggling to not be resentful of the situation she's left me in, to not be resentful of the kid for doing this to my wife. I love my child unconditionally, but man, they really changed my wife. I feel abandoned. Everything I read tells me it's my fault and that I need to do more to support her and take a load off her and that nothing's transactional. But if nothing's transactional, then shouldn't everything I do for her be enough? The hypocrisy of it infuriates me. The amount of my life I have given up to support her and what she wants. Encouraging her photography hobby every step of the way until she started making multiple thousands from a single 8-hour wedding as an actual business. I told her from day one that she could do it and supported every decision she made for it. The dreams I can't pursue in her country, the effort I instilled to be a part of it. All of it, and I'm stuck in a roommate marriage and the whole world wants me to think that it's solely my burden and there's no blame to be put on her because she's the mother, she has the hardest job. And regardless of anyone's opinion or input, nothing will change. I get to just sit here and suffer. I'm sad. I miss my wife. We have what I believe is a very good home and parenting relationship. We work very well together, and I have no doubt our kid is happy. Have you ever felt like you lost someone who's still right there?
That was today's chaos. See you at the next clash. Don't just watch the clash, join the corner. Subscribe now.